Social Security, some encouraging information that was just released with a new announcement. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, now in this video, I want to discuss the details of a new report that was just released and finally some encouraging information for those of you that are currently receiving Social Security benefits. Let's get into it and talk about what they're now saying. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and because I am your one and only daily advocate, I'm here for you right by your side each and every day, watching all this new information hitting the wire, doing the research and breaking it all down into these short videos so you can stay updated with what's actually going on, and most importantly, how it's going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course, anything popping up right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of as a low income or fixed income beneficiary. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet so you don't miss any videos going forward. And also remember, I am here for you in any way that I can be. That's my dedication, that's my commitment, and as always, that's my promise to you and everybody right here in the community. All right, thanks again. Let's get into it and talk about finally some encouraging information for fixed income beneficiaries, as it seems like all we've been hearing about lately is how benefits are going to be cut and all kinds of other things out there that Congress isn't doing, right? Well, let's talk about something in this new report here that's actually pretty encouraging, like I said, especially for those of you that are current Social Security beneficiaries. All right, so here's what it comes down to. Now, by the way, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of different bills, packages, and proposals out there. We can talk about all of those separately in other videos, but this is a new report here that breaks it all down as far as Social Security, because we've been hearing a lot lately about this whole insolvency issue, right? Benefits are going to be cut, benefits are going to be reduced, all kinds of things like this. Are they really though? Well, let's talk about what this report is actually saying. So this report was actually released and it breaks it down in 10-year increments, as in the years that beneficiaries were born. 1990s, 1980s, 1970s, 1960s, 1950s, and earlier than that. And again, the further out that we look at on this scale, as in those individuals that were born in the 1960s and 50s and earlier than that, for the most part, you're going to have the best benefit out of all of this. And for those of you that were born maybe in the 70s, 80s, or 90s, well, we'll get to that here in just a second, okay? But this is actually pretty encouraging because we've seen a lot of details about this. Here's what the report goes on to show. It goes on to show that because of this whole insolvency issue, it actually shows that the Social Security Administration, that there is no formula as of right now, like there is no formula written into the law to actually reduce benefits in the event of insolvency. But wait, I'm confused. I thought we've been talking about all of these massive reductions to benefits in the event of insolvency with Social Security, right? Well, now they're telling us that, wait, there's actually not a formula to determine how much benefits are actually going to be reduced in the event of insolvency. Okay, whatever. I guess we thought all about this for all this time now. The benefits were going to be reduced by a certain percentage based on payrolls and this Social Security Trust Fund and all kinds of things like this. But now they're telling us that there's nothing written into the law saying that there would actually be no formula for reducing benefits. Okay, sounds good to me, right? So we'll see what they actually come up with here. But anyway, let me tell you the encouraging information about this. Here's what they actually said. They said for those individuals born in 1950 and earlier than that, the potential reduction to your benefit initially would be virtually nothing. You would have virtually no reduction to your benefit. However, over the course of lifetime earnings, they're suggesting the benefits would possibly be reduced at a maximum of about 9% over the course of your entire lifetime earnings. I mean, don't get me wrong, we don't want any reduction to benefit, but at the end of the day, a 9% is a far cry from a potential 23% annual reduction to benefits, right? That's not that bad. Now, here's what they talked about. For those of people that were born in the 1960s, again, how much would your initial benefit decrease be in the event of insolvency? They basically said, well, it wouldn't really be anything. There'd be virtually no reduction of benefits initially. However, over the course of time, over the course of your lifetime benefits, there'd be a reduction of about 19% over the course of full benefits and the full lifetime of your benefits. So that could be over the course of many, 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 many years, okay? But initially they're saying, well, there really wouldn't be any reduction of benefit. That's good. And again, most people that were born kind of within this range, especially the 50s, again, depending on your year of birth, whether you're born in the mid 50s or earlier than that, you're probably already receiving Social Security benefits. If you're born kind of in the middle or the later half of the 50s, well, you could be receiving benefits as early as, now if you claimed your benefits early. So again, this is what it all pertains to. And for those people that were born in the 60s, you're maybe a couple years out from claiming benefits, but not that far, right? You're getting pretty close here. So pretty encouraging stuff. However, now let's talk about those people that were born in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. Well, it's not quite as encouraging here. All right, so here's what they're talking about. Because those people born in the 70s, 80s, and 90s would likely be claiming their benefit after a potential insolvency type of event in Social Security. Well, these are the people they're going to feel the biggest hit when they claim their benefits. Let me tell you the details about this. Now, again, let me clear the air on this really quickly. This is for Social Security retirement benefits. Not talking about disability, not talking about SSI, nothing like that. This is strictly Social Security retirement benefits. So somebody that was born in the 70s, 80s, or 90s could technically be receiving Social Security disability as we speak today. That's fine. We're not talking about that. Now, we're not talking about reductions to SSDI. We're talking about reductions to retirement benefits when all of us get, to that range when we can start claiming. So here's what they said. Because those people that were born in the 70s, 80s, and 90s would technically be claiming their benefit after a potential insolvency event in Social Security, these are the people that would feel a massive reduction to their benefit. Now, here's what they said. These individuals would see, let me step back for a second. Those individuals born in the 1970s would see a 24% reduction to their benefit. Those born in the 80s, that's me, by the way. I was born in the 80s. Those people born in the 80s would see a reduction to their Social Security benefit by 27%. Ouch. Okay? Those people born in the 1990s would see a reduction to their benefit by 28%. So these are the people that would actually see the bulk of the reduction to their benefit because of potential insolvency. So we'll actually see what happens there. But again, anybody born in the 70s, 80s, or 90s, we are a long time out from receiving Social Security retirement benefits. Let's be real, right? So for many of us, depending on when you're actually born, we could be looking at a long time. We could be looking at many, 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 many years, right? So in my case alone, it'd be like, 20 some years until I could potentially start claiming as early as 62, right? So that's a long time. And anybody born, 70s, 90s, 80s, whatever it happens to be, that's still a long time from right now, right? So when it comes down to it, will they likely do something by then? Well, I would hope so. That's a long time. For them to not be able to do something in 20 years or, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years is nuts. To think that they couldn't do something in that amount of time. At that point, it would be all down to choice. Let's be real for a second. It's all down to choice anyway. Congress can get something done if they wanted to in a relatively short amount of time. They can get things done. We've seen it happen here over the last couple of years as they sit on their hands, they're not doing anything, and all of a sudden, wait, we got a bill? We got $1 trillion package on the table? Where'd this come from? Didn't know anything about this, and all of a sudden, before we know it, a month later, they're voting on it and it's passing, right? So if they really wanted to do something, they can get stuff done. It's all down to, do they really want to do something? That's, I think, the real question that we need to be asking these days is, do they really want to do something in the higher or the good of the people, or whatever the saying is supposed to be? So that is what it really comes down to is, will Congress actually do something about this? They probably will, but they'll probably wait until the very last minute, like what they do with so many other things. But when it comes down to it, for those of you that are currently receiving Social Security retirement benefits, if you're currently receiving benefits right now, it looks like any potential reduction to benefits because of insolvency would be very, very minimal. That's good news. That's good, because I know for a fact, I've seen it down below in the comment section, many of you here in the community, well, maybe I shouldn't say many, some people here in the community are very concerned about this. Well, according to these reports, it looks like there shouldn't really be a whole lot to be concerned about. It looks like anybody born in the 60s, 50s, or beyond, or earlier than the 50s, pretty much has nothing to worry about when it comes down to this. This is what the report is saying. However, if you're born in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, look out. They're coming for your benefit. So anyway, we'll see what happens there. Again, that's still a long time out from right now. But again, I want to make this very clear as well. If you're currently somebody receiving Social Security Disability, SSDI or SSI, something like this, there's nothing to worry about here. They're not coming after that. Those are not the benefits that we're talking about, and those are not the benefits that are on the chopping block for potential reduction. We're not talking about those. We're talking strictly about Social Security retirement benefits, because that is the trust fund that they're talking about potentially being depleted by 2033. And again, that's still 10 years from right now. Either way, these are the reports that are coming out right now, and I thought, you know what? Finally, some encouraging information when it comes to Social Security. It's pretty nice stuff, right? Because there's not all that often that we come out and we hear this stuff going on right now. Either way, I wanted to bring this to your attention because I thought, finally, a little bit of encouraging information here and something we can actually look forward to and maybe take a little bit of weight off of our shoulders for once, because of all these other things popping up right now. Either way, I'm here for you in any way that I can be. I wanted to bring this to your attention because I thought it was kind of important, and just want to keep you posted with everything that I'm finding out there. Either way, please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands upon thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day. Leave your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. I do my best to read as many as possible, and then, of course, respond to as many as possible as well. Anyway, enjoy, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.